Let's talk about the details of your credit card agreement, the fine print. When you receive your new credit card in the mail, what exactly is the agreement you've made with the credit card company? What are your interest rates for the different services your card offers, like cash advances or carrying debt from one month to the next? What are the penalties and fees for making mistakes with your card, like sending in a payment late or bouncing a check? When can your credit card company simply raise your interest rates, and by how much? Or can they do that at all? Believe it or not, even though not knowing these details can cost a credit card holder thousands, even tens of thousands of dollars, most people don't ever read the fine print of their agreements. And the credit card companies count on this. That's why, as I'll show you in a minute, they write the details of the agreement in smaller print than you see at the bottom of this screen. They're hoping you won't read it at all. But I'm going to show you what's actually in that fine print and why you need to know those details. Now, the credit card companies give you all sorts of things to focus on other than the terms of your agreement. Here's an example from Capital One Bank. This is called the image card they're advertising here. And as you can see, you can personalize your card with an image. The example they give below is that you can have a picture of your dog added to the front of your card. That's nice, right? But remember, a credit card is a financial tool. That's all it is. It's a revolving personal loan, actually, and if you don't treat it carefully, it can become a very expensive loan. The only things that should matter to you about your card are the financial details you're signing up for, like the card's fees, interest rates, and penalties. Don't be distracted by cool gimmicks like personalized photos. Now, here's the page the credit card company doesn't want you looking at carefully. This is the page in the credit card application package that explains the actual terms of your agreement. Now look at this thing. Could they have made it any more difficult or unappealing to read? But that's exactly why you must read it, and read it before you apply for the card. It's the only way to learn whether the card's going to be right for you. Let's focus first on this top portion, the numbers. Which number is written largest here? You see the 9.24% up top? That jumps out at you. That's the card's APR, the annual percentage rate. Basically, that's the interest rate you'll have to pay on the balance you carry on your card, meaning the money you use to buy stuff with the credit card and then don't pay off in full when the bill comes. Now, the card company highlights this number because, although it's an expensive amount to charge for lending money, it's reasonably low as far as credit card interest rates go. But look at the next word after 9.24%, variable. I'll explain what that means in a minute. But notice for now that in the next box it states you'll be charged 19.24% on your money for any cash advance. That's a fortune. That means that if you took out a $500 cash loan from the credit card company, they'd charge you almost $100 in interest. So after a year, you'd owe $600 just for the privilege of having borrowed $500. And notice here at the bottom, the default APR, meaning the default interest rate, can go up to 29.99%. Remember, they wrote variable next to 9.24 up top. So let's look at what that really means. Let's take a quick look at this bottom portion, the real fine print. The very first line of this section actually says, and you probably have a hard time reading because it's written so small, we reserve the right to change the account terms, including the APRs, that means including your interest rate, at any time for any reason. Translation, we can raise your rates anytime we feel like it. That's what variable means. The interest rate on this card is listed at 9.24%, but the credit card company writes here in the fine print that they can raise it up to 29.99% anytime for any reason. That means that if you're carrying a balance, meaning you're not paying off your credit card bill every month, but instead letting the debt pile up, your interest rate could triple from 9% to almost 30% at any time. Also notice that if you make mistakes with your credit card, and millions of people do every year, your credit card company writes here that those mistakes can raise your interest rates as well. If you bounce a check, your interest rates can immediately and permanently go up to 29.99%. If you're late with one payment by even one day, same thing, your rates can go up to 30%. Details like these are why it's so important to read the credit card fine print before you apply for the card. And these details are also a good reminder of how important it is to use your card responsibly so you never have to worry about these fees and penalties and high interest rates in the first place. That means use your credit card only to buy things you can afford to pay off entirely when the bill comes. Pay your bill off completely every month. Never carry a balance. Pay your bills early so you never risk late penalties and interest charges. That's using your card responsibly.